Hi, I'm Chloe Loren, sitting here with some of my favorite people, and today we're going to be discussing the Oscars. Could your dog cure cancer? And some wonderful spring break trips that's coming up on Afternoon Delight.
The University of Wisconsin-La Crosse brings you a weekly student newscast. Important news, movie critiques, weather forecasts, sports highlights, and local interviews. UWL's own WMCM, run by the students, for the students. Every Thursday at 4:30 on Campus Channel 200 and Charter Channel 989.
And welcome back. So the 90th Academy Awards were this past Sunday, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel.
So funny.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Kimmel should host the Oscars every single year.
I definitely agree.
Either Jimmy Kimmel or trade off Jimmy Kimmel and Ellen. Because
that would be hilarious.
They are honestly the only two people that I've ever seen host the Oscars that are actually like funny.
Well, yeah, he did so much better than when he hosted last year.
Yeah, just that, I think that
might comment about
that might be part of. I feel like that may be part of the reason they had him host again is because he had like the whole mess up thing at the end last year,
Wanted to give him a second
and
chance.
it was a very big.
Time's the charm.
It was a huge like running joke throughout the whole ceremony, like. When they were announcing Best Picture, the voiceover lady, they zoomed in on the envelope for Best Picture, and the voiceover lady was like, and Best Picture coming up next, where we will be opening this envelope. And they just like had it like sitting there so you could like see that it was like, this envelope is what's happening.
Oh my goodness.
And then they had the same people announce who won again as last year.
Yep.
Yeah. So they were like, oh, let me see. And then the guy was like, don't say La La Land, don't say La La Land.
They always kill it with those skits that they do. They always bring a little humor. When I was little, like, I used to think that like all that stuff was actually just like
it just
that it just happened, and now like getting older, I'm like, oh, I understand that there's a little more thought put into it. It's like coincidentally that happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the big, like the first like skit type thing that Jimmy Kimmel did for this Oscars is he announced that whoever made like the shortest speech will win a jet ski, and he like unveiled the jet ski, and like Helen Mirren came out and was like Vanna Whiting it. And so
they even had a stopwatch.
Yeah, he literally came out and he was like, I have a stopwatch. The minute you get that award, like I am timing you. And we're gonna see, and
that
then
fashion designer.
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly.
I don't remember.
I
think it was Mark Bridges.
Yeah,
and costume designer.
He, like, put on the little life jacket.
Yeah,
and, like,
at the end, his speech was 36 seconds long. That was the shortest.
It's like, I'm winning this jet ski, man. That's
yeah,
all I want.
A couple people came up to do their speech and were like, man, I was gonna try for the jet ski, but you know, I can't, and they'd like whip out their speech on a piece of paper.
3 pages.
Why try for a jet ski you can already buy yourself, right?
True.
I mean, they probably made enough money off of that speech that they don't need a free jet ski.
Yeah,
so.
and I mean, it did come with a free trip to Lake something.
Where was it? Oh, wasn't it the waterfalls? The something. I thought it was the waterfalls.
It seemed like a whole like
probably somewhere really
I'm pretty
exotic.
sure it was just like some like
exotic land.
No, I don't even think it was
some
an exotic
oasis.
land. I'm pretty sure that
I thought it was in in Arizona, wasn't it?
Yes,
those waterfalls in Arizona.
I thought it was just like a campground for normal people.
Yeah, I thought about going to there, but it's like a 10-mile hike to get to those waterfalls. You have to like descend through a canyon. It's crazy. So, oh my gosh, that jet ski would have come in handy for that though.
Yeah. Another big thing that happened at the Oscars is Kobe Bryant won an Oscar for
Best Animated Short Film.
For Dear Basketball.
That was really good. If you guys haven't watched it, watch it.
Very funny when he his little like when he did his acceptance speech. He was like. So the person he like did it with like talked first, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, like us basketball players, we're just supposed to shut up and dribble, but like, oh my gosh, this is whoa." So that was a big thing that everyone was like,
oh my god. Yeah, because like Fox News said
but
that.
I think the biggest thing to come out of the Oscars was the Jennifer Garner gif.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Her like clapping and then like realizing something.
A lot of people said that it was her realizing that she shouldn't have been with Ben Affleck for 12 years, but I mean, it could have been anything, really.
That's harsh.
Yeah, I think, I'm pretty sure it was during when Jordan Peele won for Best Screenplay?
It was Best
Screenplay. I think it was during that happened. Yeah. Who knows what she realized? I have no idea.
I would love to do an interview with her and ask.
That's a great movie. Got it on camera too in that moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the Meryl Streep
meme. Yeah.
They're keeping that alive. They're
basically just go on Twitter if you haven't seen this meme. Like you're gonna find it.
You gotta look it up. You gotta look it up.
Anyone who watched the Oscars, I'm pretty sure that's like the main thing they got out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, what did you guys think of like all the different trends we saw on the red carpet? And
oh my gosh, it's always like hit or miss. Like either they're like 110% on point, or it was like a total fail for me.
Yeah. So I like to start with like the bad fashion first.
Oh, good. That's
Adam Rippon was he's an Olympic skier, I think?
Yes.
He has like a tuxedo on, but he wore like this like harness thing underneath his tuxedo.
Yeah.
So I was like, are you getting ready for a horse race, buddy? I don't know.
I mean, like, he's a relatively like good-looking dude, but that's just a big no.
It's just like very random. Like, here's my tuxedo, but wait, I need a harness first.
Yeah.
Maybe his goal in wearing that was to stand out and have, other catty women sitting around a table talking about him for years to come about that because I mean, it's definitely made an impression on us. So. It definitely. I feel like since it wasn't like a fashion move, maybe it was like some sort of like social move or something like that. So
true. Maybe he's trying to start a new trend.
Exactly. Maybe he's thinking ahead. Here we think that he's got bad fashion, but really he's thinking like 10 steps ahead. We're never gonna forget him.
True.
Never gonna forget Adam.
What did you think about Andra Day's dress?
I think it looks like she picked up her comforter and tied it around herself and was like, okay, I'm ready.
And just like thinking about how much money she spent
probably
thousands and thousands.
It literally just looks like my grandma's bedspread, just like all crumpled up, trying to look like.
Honestly, maybe even a little bit uglier, but
maybe like a really bad.
I would love to trade in her duvet dress to help cover the semester's tuition. Yeah, that would be awesome. I think that would be so much better purpose for it.
Please send us your comforter dress.
Yes, we would love it. We'll split the earnings. That would be great.
I'm sure whoever designed that dress would love to send it to us for a comforter.
That would be perfect. We'll put it on the local news. But then we've got Emily Blunt coming up too, and Emily, I feel like she's got that like British charm about her, something about her is very like classic.
She is British.
Yeah, I know, exactly, that's what I'm saying. She's got that like classic I'm going to tea look, and I really liked this dress. I thought it was very Grace Kelly inspired actually. Really pretty how it's nipped in at the waist, but then it has that structured shoulder that brings out that modern twist to it too. So I was a big fan of Emily Blunt's look for sure.
I think I would like it a lot more without the shoulder thing.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, it looks like
I'm kind of mixed
a dress with shoulder pads.
Right.
Which, does your dress really need shoulder pads?
I don't know. I'm bringing back shoulder pads. I swear. I'm going to bring back the shoulder. I think she pulled this off work well, though. It worked well for her. If it without the shoulder pads, I feel the dress would have just been like any other dress. True. But I don't know. This is something for great debate. What do you think, Jen?
I'm going to go with for certain occasions. Dresses, no. I think it was definitely a no for this dress. But
damn, I lost.
Maybe for blazers, like you said. Maybe for blazers.
And next we have one of my favorites, Margot Robbie, and she was looking glamorous, perfect, always. Yeah. She is just the epitome of perfection right there. So, we got the wrong graphic up, but that's not a problem. We'll just transition into talking about her. We'll get Margot Robbie on in just a second. So, Yeah, was it
Gina Rodriguez wore this, so like she's got kind of like a form-fitting like mermaid-y dress, and then she's got like a little waist cape. So I'm pretty.
I really like them.
Yeah, and it's all sparkly and shimmery.
And I like how the flesh tone of the dress kind of complemented her skin tone instead of like washing her out.
Yeah,
Right,
she never fails to have a great dress on the red carpet.
And I think her simple hair, because her dress was so sparkly, it was so like kind of out there, and it had like a lot of different things that were coming to fruition together. Her simple hair really was just like the perfect accent for something like that, to really help showcase not just the dress, but her in the dress. So like her as a human in the dress just looked really ravishing, gorgeous.
I definitely agree.
So that's all the time we have to talk about the fabulous dresses of the Oscars and the red carpet. So when we come back, more talk about some current issues, but we're going to check out a WMCM promo for Weekend Review and Screening Room.
University of Wisconsin-La Crosse brings you a weekly student newscast. Important news. Movie critiques. Weather forecasts, sports highlights, and local interviews. UWL's own WMCM, run by the students, for the students. Every Thursday at 4:30 on Campus Channel 200 and Charter Channel 989.
Are you a movie fanatic? Tune in on WMCM TV's Screening Room, Tuesdays at 2:45 or 4:30. You can watch on Channel 200 and Charter 989. See you on Tuesdays for Screening Room.
Welcome back to this week's Afternoon Delight. We're going to start off with current issues, and our first current issue we're going to talk about is an article from the New York Times talking about how you can lose 54 calories if you stand for 6 hours a day.
Dang.
That's
I mean, like, I guess I do that during work, so that's okay, but I wish I could stand during school. That'd be nice.
I feel like I'm standing for twice as long, so I'm getting twice the amount of health benefits from that. That's great. It means I can eat twice as much candy.
But is it also like, do you have to balance it out with like, okay, I stood for 6 hours, but now I can't eat like this certain thing, otherwise
like,
I'm just
it's a very limited amount of calories.
Of like the balance of like, obviously you can't just then like overeat your amount of calories for the day if you stand for 6 hours, but I think it's pretty interesting like how just like standing can
not
like
doing
have
anything.
such an effect of like physical activity. And it was said that like if you stand for 6 hours every day for like a whole year, you can lose 5 pounds.
Wow.
For like doing nothing. So
5 pounds in a year.
So I'm going to start a petition to our professors to let us stand during class, because I'm in class for like 10 hours a day. So
You should just get, have you seen those like standing like you can, there's like desks where you can have them sit, or you can like rise the desk
Or
up and you
have
can like
you
stand
seen
into
with
it.
the balls, those exercise balls, you know, where you sit on them, that's like
Like a
back
fizzy
support and
ball.
stuff. So they have certain desks that you can get and like change the ball into your chair. Like it has a normal back just like we do, but then like the butt piece of it is the ball. So you can sit and bounce
Just
on
like
it.
bounce.
And so like talk about like, I love things that are two things at once.
That would be too distracting for me to just be sitting on a ball. I'd just be like, yeah, I'm hippity.
You'd be so skinny by the end of the year though. Like it might be worth it. Standing or bouncing.
Well,
great.
moving on to another health-related topic, did you guys know that like 40% of people on the planet are going to get cancer at some point in their lives?
Damn.
Like, personally, I have like 3 family members, and I know at least like 2 of my friends who have had cancer. Luckily, they all beat it, which is really lucky. But there may be hope. Dogs could be our cure for cancer, you guys, because dogs' cancer is identical to human cancer, and there's a drug that they're testing out on golden retrievers that might actually be able to fight human cancer. So there's 20 major medical centers that are fighting this cancer, in dogs, and then if it is deemed like successful, they're going to start testing it out on humans. And I think that could be so awesome. So like,
It's really impressive.
not only are dogs like the greatest thing in the world, but now they're saving our lives. Like,
Well, isn't it that we have like super similar like immune systems to them or something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like the cancers are identical, and then like we're like 95% the same as dogs, like our genetic makeup. So they could be saving our lives and being our best friends. I think that's pretty cool.
It's like a double reason to get along.
Yeah,
right.
And they're already taking like the brunt of those first clinical trials.
Yeah.
The dogs are too. So as
Exactly.
long as they go well there, then hopefully we can start integrating that into our friends and family that need that too. This is a very serious issue too that hits
40%
for
of people.
everybody. I think everybody here has struggled with something like that in their life too, or just other people that being affected by it too is really the problem with it. So
Yeah, I know in the article that I read, there was this girl that had a German Shepherd, I believe, and it was getting tested on these trials. They were testing them on golden retrievers mostly, but her German Shepherd, actually, his cancer got cured. So he was like one of the first ones that actually was like, well, cured. Well, they'll see if it's cured or if it comes back or not, but it went away, so hopefully it'll work.
So is it like just any dog that they're like testing these on, or is it just like certain breeds of dogs
Well,
that are like better?
Yeah, golden retrievers are like really prone to getting cancer, but all dogs, it's very common to get cancer. So a lot of them are on the golden retrievers, but if your dog has cancer, bring him to one of those medical centers.
yeah, really.
So even like really mixed breeds, does that like change anything about it? Did you read anything about
That I'm not sure. Yeah, like if they'd be more susceptible to cancer if they're a mixed breed. Yeah, that's a good question.
Because I know you like whenever you think of like dogs helping with like medical research and stuff like that, it's always like the big dogs or like golden retrievers because like they're just the happiest little golden puppies in the world. Like you'd never think of like a big English bulldog like being the
that'd be something to look into,
or like a little Chihuahua. Like being like the test subject
for think of like dogs having cancer anyway.
Yeah.
This is like always surprising.
That's true.
I know a friend of mine, her dog actually has a tumor right now, and they don't know if it's benign or malignant yet, but I mean, hopefully, I want to tell her about this and be like, girl, go get your dog to one of these areas, because actually this area, Wisconsin, was one of the areas that they were doing those testing, right? And I was wondering at what university or institute that they were making these discoveries at, but that's something we can look into on future episodes of Afternoon Delight. But now let's transition into a little more lighthearted subject. We were going to be talking about some killer spring break places. Now these might not be the places that you always hear about. It's not Cancun, but we're going to be talking about some of my personal favorite places to travel because, and me and the girls kind of talked about this before the show, where we have gone and some of our favorite places too. So can we get one of the graphics up here? That'd be great. We're going to start talking about, I think we start with Chicago here. And all of us have been to the Chicago area. It's kind of one of those areas that's near and dear to us. So this was a shot that I took last time I was in Chicago, actually. I took it really quick while I was like driving past. I was like, gotta get that shot. So I was rolling down the window, even though it was 0 degrees outside. But I got it, and I had a blast in Chicago. And when I came back, I knew we had to do this segment on it. And spring break was coming up, and I was like, I think, well, darn, Chicago might just be the place for me to go for spring break.
That's actually where I'm going. I'm going to Chicago for a concert on Friday, and I'm staying there for a couple days. My entire family actually lives there, so get to stay for free. That's pretty nice. There's so many things to do there. Like,
there really are.
Even though it's like cold, maybe it'll be warm by this weekend, who knows. But there's so many things to do. Like you could go to any of the museums, the Museum of Natural
History. The Art Institute is my favorite.
Yeah, the Art Institute, Shedd Aquarium. That's probably my favorite.
I think like one of the biggest things I always see people going to in Chicago though is the Bean.
The Bean.
Yeah.
The Bean
and
is so cool.
I have been to Chicago a few times. I've never been to the Bean.
No,
it's in Millennium Park.
I asked my parents have like my uncle lives in Chicago, like they've been there a few times. I was like, God, like have you guys ever gone to the Bean? They're like, what the heck is the Bean? I'm like, you don't know what a bean is? Like what? It blew my mind. But I don't know. That's like what you like when you go to Chicago. You
go
post a
see the
picture
bean.
of the bean, and that's what you do.
I mean, there's not really that much around it. I guess it depends on when you
Is
go.
it just
if
like
other
a
things are
giant
happening.
bean?
It's like it's in Millennium Park.
Yeah, I know it's in Millennium Park,
but it's like just the bean.
They always have so many great festivals in that park. Last time I was there, they were doing like a wine and cheese fest. Yeah, that's exactly what was going on. Yep, and Lollapalooza, right?
That's not in Millennium Park, but it's around that area.
It's near. I remember seeing signs to it. So there's lots of great things to do in Chicago. Navy Pier for you. I mean, there's so much to do.
More in the summer though.
Yeah, for sure.
Now.
It's not bad during spring break, but like a lot of the things.
Now that we got this extra snow on us.
Where else do you like to go for spring break?
So another place is very near and dear to my heart, and that is New York City. So I'm a big fan of Manhattan and a little bit of Brooklyn too. There's definitely great things in all the boroughs, but mostly Manhattan is like my favorite place to focus on. There's really never a need to leave Manhattan. You can find like you can travel the world and be on that little island, and it's amazing actually. So I really enjoyed Manhattan. And then another great place that I like to recommend is Miami, and that was one of the graphics that we just had on, and that place was beautiful. So I actually just got back from Miami, and I don't know if anybody can tell that my freckles are popping or that I'm like one shade darker than my normal white. But Miami has so much fun stuff to do there. There's the ice cream museum, which has like a bathtub full of sprinkles in it. But if you're going to go, you need to book your tickets in advance. So make sure that you guys book your tickets in advance, because so many people want to go to that ice cream museum. It's so amazing. Get in that tub of sprinkles.
I bet. Oh my gosh.
Well, guys, we're going to be right back. We got to have a quick break, so we'll be right back. Thanks so much.
For the fun side of sports, from debates to memes to highlights, don't miss Hot Shot Sports, Tuesday afternoons on WMCM on Campus 200 and Charter 989.
Get excited for Get Classy, WMCM's hottest game show.
Write down your wager on your whiteboard now.
That is correct.
I'm in charge here. I'm going to give the board to Greta.
That is cheating.
Play along with us Tuesday afternoons at 2:45 and 4:30 on Campus Channel 200 or Charter Channel 989. Remember, stay sassy with Get Classy.
And welcome back to Afternoon to Light. It's time for our final segment of the show, which is our advice column. So my piece of advice today involves kind of my friends. One thing I noticed amongst my friend group is that whenever something bad happens, they always take it so harsh. Like, they always think it's the end of the world, and they kind of like shut down for the rest of the day, or even like the rest of the week sometimes. So my advice to my friends and to all of you is to train your mind to just like be happy, like see the good in everything, because positivity is a choice, and it'll honestly help you so much. I have adapted that. I used to be someone who let everything get to me, but now I see the positivity in everything, and it honestly has really helped me. And how happy you are depends on the quality of your thoughts. So just slowly try changing your mind. If something bad happens, just be like, oh, well, maybe something good will come out of this, or something like that. You never know. Could end up being a good thing.
So do you like meditate and stuff like that?
I like to do yoga, but meditation has always kind of been hard for me, I guess. It's hard for me to just kind of sit there and not do anything.
Well, you always think of like meditation as like kind of thing, but like, so have you heard of like the Calm app?
Yes.
I've heard of it.
So I have that, and I listen to like sleep stories, and like that's like kind of like meditation. Like it's just like someone reading to you.
Yeah, I like
but
listening to
it's
like
very like
piano, kind of like coffee shop music. Like if I'm just trying to like relax, if I'm really stressed, I'll just kind of like lay down and just sit there and listen to that. But
Yeah, it's like people
helps
who
a
have like
lot.
the rain machines.
Oh, I've used the rain.com, or is it rain.com? Is it rain.com? I think that's something like that. And it's just like constant streaming of rain playing in the background. So relaxing to curl up with a book.
Or the sounds of like splashing.
Right.
It's like white noise.
Exactly. Jen, I really like that you brought that up. That piece of advice is something that has seen me through many a dark time, to be quite honest. Like, I've gone through some things, but I always try to keep my chin up and smile through it all. There are going to be those situations and times in your life where, yeah, you're going to have a hard time, but the best thing to do is to handle that load that's been given to you as gracefully as possible and try to learn and grow from those situations. And just see that where you are as a person today is because of not just the good things, but because of the bad things that you've dealt with in life. So I'm in a really good place right now, even though I've had good and bad all mixed alike in my past, and all those things have really helped shape me as a person. So I can't say that I would take any of them away. So I think that was a really good point for you to bring up. I think it was beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes, of course. You're looking beautiful today. So this brings me to my piece of advice for you guys. We're all kind of going around the table doing a very diverse look at advice. So Jen has some very serious advice. My advice is more fun. So can anyone check out my lips today? Did you notice them?
They're very red and very pretty.
So red. Oh my gosh.
Shiny.
Guys, wow.
Bright.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. It's because of this life hack I have for you right here between my thighs. So this is called Lip Sense. This is Lip Sense. I've been hiding it under the table for a long time for you guys. So what this is not your traditional lipstick. You can't get it at Sephora. You can't get it like at any regular department store. You actually have to go through like a broker. Like you have to go through
like
a
like Mary Kay kind of.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, so I really like this. So I'm gonna like demo a little bit of this on my hand. I'm gonna swatch it like all the makeup gurus do. And we're going right here. So look at that beautiful red color. I don't know if you can get that. Can you get it? Yeah?
I think, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There we go.
So you're gonna apply this here and you let it dry for about 10 seconds, right? And then you go over it with another layer, let that dry for a second, another layer. And guys, let me just show you this. See my lips? Boom. Can we get a close up of that? Look at that.
It's fine.
Nothing came off. That is because of this amazing stuff, which is Lip Sense right here. And so once you have your color tint put on, over top of that, you're gonna put on this clear moisturizing gloss. And so you put it on just like that. And it's awesome.
Then you'll have beautiful lips.
Yeah, that is my life hack for you guys today. Lip Sense. Gotta plug them.
Okay, well,
Thank
now
you
that we
guys.
got a taste of what the QVC hosts do, we are about out of time. No? Oh, I have advice. So, my advice is all about your nails.
You do have beautiful nails.
I am a nail artist. So glitter nail polish is really hard to get off. So
I struggled myself.
What you need to do is just take a cotton ball or whatever, dunk it in your nail polish remover, stick it on your nails, cover it in tin. If you cover your nails in tin foil.
Interesting.
Wow.
And then you just leave the tin foil claws on for like 5 minutes, and then
Your tinfoil claw.
just take it off, and your nail polish literally just like slides. That's a good word. Slides right off your nails.
Meanwhile, your boyfriend's scared to touch you because you're like, got these claws on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay. So our last piece of advice.
Let's see.
Homework. What's your studying tips?
Homework. Let's see. So, I have been like really into like doing homework with friends recently, which can also be distracting, but my advice is if you get a good group of people to like motivate you to do homework, I can see like it helps me.
Definitely.
Or else like I get distracted so easily by myself to just like go on my phone or like watch Netflix or stay in my room. So like you gotta like find some good people to motivate you to do your homework.
Yeah, that's true.
A very good tip. Okay, now we're out of time. So thanks for all the great advice, everybody, and see you next time on Afternoon Delight.